Welcome to Engineering Simplified. Have you ever wondered how a single light switches on at the bottom of the stairs, then off at the top, using two separate switches? It's not magic, it's two-way switching, and today we're breaking it down. The first thing to clear up is the name itself, because it trips people up. A two-way switch doesn't mean it controls two different lights. It means the switch has two possible positions the current can be routed through. A standard one-way light switch has just two terminals, one for the incoming live, one heading out to the light. It's a simple on-off gate, nothing more. A two-way switch is built differently, with three terminals instead of two. Those three terminals are usually labeled COM, L1 and L2. Understanding what each one does is the key to this whole circuit. COM is the common terminal, and it's always connected, either to the incoming supply on the first switch or to the light itself on the second switch, depending on which end you're wiring. L1 and L2 are the two alternative output terminals. Flipping the switch simply changes which of those two terminals the common terminal connects to internally. No electronics involved, just a lever choosing between two paths. Here's how a real installation works. The live supply enters the COM terminal of the first switch. Two wires, called strappers or travelers, run from that switch's L1 and L2 to the second switch's L1 and L2. The second switch's COM terminal then feeds the light fitting itself. Current has to travel through one specific strapper wire to complete the circuit, and only one switch combination will actually align to let it flow. If you're enjoying this, like, comment, and subscribe. And check out the other Engineering Simplified playlists. This is the clever part. Flipping either switch changes which strapper wire is connected at that end, which either completes or breaks the overall path. It doesn't matter which switch you use or where the other one is left. Every time you operate either switch, you change the electrical path, and the light state simply flips from whatever it was before. That's why it works correctly from either location in any combination of positions. If a two-way circuit ever stops working from just one location, the fault is almost always a strapper wire connected to the wrong terminal or a loose connection at COM rather than a faulty switch itself. It's worth remembering this arrangement only ever touches the live conductor. The neutral runs directly from the supply to the light fitting, uninterrupted, and never passes through either switch at all. This isn't just convention, it's a safety requirement in most electrical codes. Switching the neutral instead of the live could leave a fitting electrically live even when switched off, a serious shock risk during maintenance. The common mistake people make wiring this for the first time is assuming L1 and L2 need connecting in a specific matching order between the two switches, as though they were a fixed, labeled pairing. In reality, it doesn't matter which strapper goes to L1 or L2 on either switch, as long as each strapper runs to the same pair of terminals at both ends. Swap them, and the circuit still works identically. What trips people up far more is miswiring COM as though it were just another output, or accidentally landing the incoming live on L1 or L2 instead of COM, which stops the switch working correctly at all. Another common error is mixing up strapper wires with the switched live going to the light itself, especially in older 3-core and earth cable where the sleeving colors on the black core easily get overlooked or forgotten. Three-way and four-way switching, controlling a light from 3 or more locations, build directly on this same principle. They simply add intermediate switches that redirect the strapper wires without ever touching COM themselves. An intermediate switch has 4 terminals instead of 3, and internally it can cross the 2 strapper paths or leave them straight, depending on its position, giving you a 3rd, 4th, or even further switching location. Modern smart switches and dimmers can complicate this setup, since many need a neutral connection at the switch plate itself, something traditional two-way circuits were never wired to provide. So remember, a two-way switch works by redirecting current between 2 alternative paths using COM, L1, and L2, and flipping either switch in a two-switch circuit always changes which path is complete. The live conductor does all the switching, the neutral stays untouched throughout, and the wiring between L1 and L2 doesn't need to match. It just needs to stay consistent between both ends of each strapper. Drop a like, comment the topic you'd like to see explained next, and subscribe. It genuinely helps this channel grow. See you in the next Engineering Simplified video.